All right, Shalom. This is Brother Rayat from the Cleveland Branch GMS, coming back at you with another lesson through the power and spirit of the Most High and the Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ and God. But before I get into these scriptures, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kodash Barakatah. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone, the real true leaders of all Israel on earth today. Salutations to the hopeful elect, the brothers that's pushing this truth in season and out of season, in all truth and sincerity. All right, now today I'm just getting to how Israel will be delivered, maybe in one big mothership, Lord willing. This is a new revelation from the elders of Great Millstone. So this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Yeah, so it says in a cloud, but it's not actually talking about the clouds that rain and the white clouds in the air. It's talking about a fathership of all fatherships, a cloud. Let me get Psalms 104 and verse 3. It says, Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? But the point I wanted was, who maketh the clouds his chariots? And the chariots are Shalakia, are known as the UFOs, but we know them as IFOs, identified flying objects, the chariots of Israel. They are noted in the scriptures, and they starting to make themselves more relevant as it goes on. But just to prove it's one big one, let me go to 2nd Exodus, the 13th chapter. This is 2nd Exodus 13. I'm going to start at 1. It says, And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof, and beheld, and lo, that man walked strong with the thousands of heaven, talking about the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Now I'm going to jump to 6. It says, But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That great mountain is talking about a chariot. It says, But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Yeah, because it was just that big. It was one big, great mothership. And let me jump back to Revelations. But I'm going to go to the first chapter. It says, let me see, Revelation 1 and 7. It says, Behold, he cometh with clouds. And we just read in Revelations how he make the clouds his chariots, and every eye shall see him. How is every eye going to see him? Because he's coming back with thousands and thousands of chariots, like the scriptures say. But he's going to be on the main one, the one big one. What was that? Revelations 11 and 12. It says, And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. That's why That's why Revelations 1 and 7 says, And every eye shall see him. Let me go back to it. Revelations 1 and 7. Behold, He cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Yeah, man, he coming with one big cloud, one big chariot. That's the fathership, man. That's the chariots of Israel, man, for salvation and destruction. Because it's going to be beaming up the elect and at the same time blasting these other people to shreds, man, with concentrated fire coming out those ships, man. What chariot ship? I mean, script. What's that? Isaiah 66, 66 and 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." But the point I wanted was at 15. "For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind." That's how every eye is going to see him, because he's coming back in what the world calls UFOs. But those are the chariots of the Most High. The so-called white man knows about these things. They've been spotted and encountered for years. Let me say, open pushing expression starts in the north. Okay, Ezekiel 1-4. "And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself." And that's what the chariots looked like. It looked like a fire enfolding itself, but it says a great cloud, meaning a great chariot. "And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber out of the midst of the fire." But they tell you it's aliens in those chariots, but let's see what's really in them. "Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four creatures, and this was the appearance that they had the likeness of a man." Talking about talking about the angels, man. So the angels look like man, and every one had four faces, and every one had four wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their foot was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So these angels are so-called dark-skinned people too, man. These are our family members coming to save us, man. He said he coming back with angels, with those thousands from heaven. He coming to destroy and to save his elect. Let me see. What's that? I said 11:11. Let me see. This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people that be she left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Patmos and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations that shall assemble the outcast of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." And he's coming in chariots, man, to destroy and to save his elect from the four corners of the earth, man. So I hope somebody was edified on the chariots of salvation. With that, I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kodash Barakatah, Double honor to the elders and apostles, that great millstone, the real true leaders of all Israel on today. If you can receive it, salutations to the hopeful elect, brothers that's pushing this truth and keep preaching this word, man. We almost out of here. Shalom.